I made a mistake. I recently did the short bed conversion on my 68 F100, and when I re-welded the frame back to the back half to the front half, I thought it was level, and it wasn't. And what it resulted in is a bed that's crooked. And what I mean by that, and you may be difficult to tell on the camera, but if you look right here, this is closer than it is down there, so you can kind of see how it widens, right? It tapers up as you go up towards here. And I'm gonna exaggerate it, but the frame is like this, right? And that's all at that point where I welded the back part to the front part. The weld is good. I thought it was level, and it's not. So now I need to deal with that. What do I wanna do? Well, you could cut the frame back off. I've got those plates welded on the side. I could cut those plates off and cut the Z shape back out and realign everything. That's a lot of work, and in the end, I still may not get it perfect. Again, I thought I had this thing level when I did it. There's another way we can do that, and we can do it by shimming the bed and the cab. Now, you could call this a Band-Aid. Some people aren't gonna like that, but in the position that I'm in, I think this is the next best option, we're going to bump up the front of the bed and the back of the cab. So if they were like this, we're gonna make it so that's closer to level, right? Let me show you, I'm gonna put a string on the side of the truck here, and while this trim that I have on here isn't perfectly straight, but it'll give you an idea of how much dip there is in my frame. This is actually the worst side. The other side is not as bad, thankfully. But let's run a string along here, and you'll get to see how much lower everything aligns. So what I'm gonna do, if I just tape some of this string. Now, thankfully there's a high point on this trim, kind of a peak in the middle here. So we're gonna use that as our gauge, as our level. In fact, I'm gonna do it off of here in case these two pieces aren't aligned. But if we just put this on here, make sure we tape it good because we're gonna pull it pretty tight. There, that ought to be pretty good. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna run the tape, or run this line down the other direction. Now, what we wanna do is we're gonna tape off this other end, but real quick before I do that, I wanna show you, well, if we pull this thing tight against the trim and follow the trim, the peak of that trim, that would put us right around there. And right off the bat, you can see how much lower this line should be right here. But if we take this string to the peak here, right there, then it dips in the middle, and that's actually what we're gonna focus on. Let me tape this off real quick, and I'll move the camera for you. So as we follow this thing down, again, on the camera it's gonna be hard to tell, but that the center of that trim is below the string. And so here's where it's its worst. Now, I don't know how close this was on the long bed. I don't remember if there was any kind of flex in the frame, or there's a little bit of compliance between the bushings and stuff of the cab. But for the most part, you can tell that this string should be down there, not up there. So we gotta raise this up, ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch. If we can raise the back of the cab up and the front of the bed up, we can get this thing to be level. But it's gonna compound a problem somewhere else. If we raise the cab up, then we're gonna have a problem where these aren't gonna align as good. This seam right here, because this cab is separate than those fenders, and that cab has got 2 mounts on this side and 2 mounts on that side. So if you tilt the back up, this isn't moving, and it'll compound that problem just a little bit. So what we can't do is make this perfect, but we can try. So what I wanna do is you can do this on the ground. If you jack the truck up, you can get underneath there and take the bolts out and unloosen stuff, but I'm gonna put it on the lift so we can see underneath what we're doing. And I'm gonna take out the front 2 bolts, but just leave the back ones in. That way the bed doesn't slide off, and then because we're gonna be lifting the front of the bed up, we can leave those in and allow us to kind of pivot on those back bolts. So, and then we'll take the nuts off of the cab mounts, and then we can tilt the back of the cab up, and we'll leave those connected on the front. Real quick, let's look over on the other side. So we've got the tape, or the string taped up, and it's not as bad on this side. In fact, if we go here to the center, I mean, it's pretty close. The gap in here is not nearly as noticeable. It is skinnier at the top, And that may be the design of the bed. I don't know enough about that, but it just looks like it tapers, it gets wider towards the bottom. So we can do a little bit of adjustment on this side, but like I was saying, the driver's side is the one that's worse, and that's the one you're gonna see every time you're getting in the truck, and it's gonna be on your mind every time. So, and also when you put this up on the lift, where we lift up on the frame, it may make the frame bend just a little tiny bit. So again, we're sitting at about 3/4 of an inch here, so when we put it up on the lift, we'll see if the lifting up of the frame extends this out or it makes it flatten or whatever, so we can kind of take that into consideration when we're shimming everything together. Now before I lift this up, another thing I noticed is, you see how these are not aligned? This is a problem with when I put these fenders back on after I did that whole Crown Vic front end swap. I don't have these panels aligned to the cab very well, and so this is sagging relative to the door. So it's not a perfect alignment here, and you can tell just by those two there. That's part of the problem with this. So when you're using this front edge of the fender to determine the length, or the dip in the bed, this isn't an exact science what I'm doing here because this isn't aligned. Now I'm gonna be taking these off because I got some other work to do in the front down the road. So I don't wanna realign that right now, only because I'm gonna have to do it again later. But for shimming this bed, I think we'll be able to have enough information to kind of get this thing bumped up. So if we see here, this is the edge. So we're about 1/4 of an inch down, so we can shim this side just a little bit, but we're gonna have to do more on the other side. All right, looking at this frame, it doesn't look like that line really moved. This side's not the best example because it's not as bad, but it looks like my frame is stiff. That's what we want, right? You want when you weld the frame back together from the short bed conversion, that it's gonna be stiff and hold everything in place. And then if we come to the other side here, yeah, you can see it's still about 3/4 of an inch. So what we're gonna do is we're going to undo, let's see, underneath here, there's a bolt here, and there's one here. And then we're gonna do these 2 cab mount bolts. And what I wanna do is I'm gonna lift the bed up, I'm gonna put some washers underneath here, and then do the same thing up front. Now I've got some leftover, these big, huge washers from when I redid the core support mounts up front. I kept those big, huge washers from that. So they're a pretty good thickness. They're about, maybe less than 1/4 of an inch. So we'll throw one of those up on top in between this cross member piece and the bottom of the frame puck, that's shock absorber, spacer piece here that's absorbs everything. And then we'll just put some regular washers up here. And whatever washers we put here, we can't put the same amount there because we don't want to lift up the bed the same amount back here as we do in the front. So let's get this loosened up and start trying at it. All right, we got all 4 of those undone, and I just loosened up the ones in the back again so we can allow that bed to pivot. If it was tightened down, it makes it hard to push up on this because it's holding it down. But I forgot, I think on this design, I think there's actually a nut on the other side of this washer that's capturing that bolt. You don't really need nuts on the bottom, and I think is how that goes. But unfortunately, I think the only way to do that is to get inside the cab, and that bolt is sitting underneath the gas tank, of course. So let's go ahead and we can shim these guys up here, and then we're gonna have to get these bolts loose. All right, so I got 4 of these stacked up, which is about 3/8, just over 3/8 of an inch stacked up here. And you can kind of see there's a gap there, but they're sandwiched in between the frame rail and the bed rail. The bolt's still long enough to reach. I think I have 3 of them back in this one. So again, because it's tapering a little bit. And then on this side, we've got, oh, it's gonna be hard to see, but I've got 2 up in here and 1 on that one. So I think I'm gonna be pretty good here. If you look at the bed here, it's gonna be hard. The string is sagging because it's not a very good string. I've had to retighten it once, and we're right close to that line, but the cab is still low, so we still gotta fix that. But I think we're in a good spot. I think I can go ahead and lock the bed down. If I need to, I can redo it, but I think this is a good spot to lock the bed down so we can focus on doing the cab bolts now. Okay, let's see how the bed looks. See what I was saying about that string sagging? So let me fix that string real quick and then we can see where we're at. All right, that's better. We got it tightened up now. Let's come around here and we can see we're just subtly below the line. But you can see we've got a lot to do with the cab. And now it's really, I mean, if I had the trim on here, it really wouldn't align at all. The gap is better, how much this thing tapered, but it's still, we obviously still got to fix the cab. If we come around to the passenger side, see, we're still the same thing here. I could have come up a little more on the bed, and I can still do that, but we still got to do the cab here. So, and then this gap, yeah, maybe it's hard to tell on the camera, but it looks like it's still, this is really close up here. And that may be just where I have the bed positioned, front to back on the truck. But, okay, so now let's deal with the cab bolts. So to get back here, I've got this seat in the way, and I think I'm probably gonna have to take it out. And the reason why is if you took these bolts across the top there's enough gas in this gas tank, and it's really kind of heavy to lift up. You might be able to lift it up and put it on a block so you can get to that bolt underneath there. I may try that, but I'm probably just gonna take this seat out, which I didn't want to have to do, but it is what it is. So let's get this thing taken apart so we can get this gas tank lifted up. All right, the biggest limiting factor we're going to have is that hard line for the fuel line that goes out to the engine. But you can unplug the fuel sending unit if you need to. We're going to have to undo the coupling for the fuel fill tube. And I think what I'm going to try to do is just lift this up and put it on a couple of 2x4 blocks just so it's up in the air, but I don't have to disconnect that fuel line. We'll see if I can do that. Just to get to those bolts, we have to get them loosened, and then I don't know if we need to pull them all the way out or just loosened, and then we can go from there. All right, there's an hour I'm never gonna get back. That was just dumb. I should have just undone the fuel line. It was so much easier to move. I was fighting this thing because that line was more or less holding it in place. And I was also messing around with this thing, trying to get that off. So we just took the tube out, undid the clamps that are on here and pulled that out, and undid the line and the fuel, the ground and the fuel sending unit wire, which fell back here somewhere. Anyways, so I think I'm gonna just clean this out, and then I'm gonna just put a torque or a impact gun on that and just drive those two bolts out so we can lift the cab. But I got to put the truck back on the lift so I can get underneath there and put my spacers on. But this is what it looks like with the gas tank out of the way, and this thing is dirty. Cool, let's get it cleaned. All right, now that we got that bolt out of there, I'm gonna take one of these pry bars and we'll just pry in between the cab and this cross member. And if I just pull down it, see how it kind of moves. Now I'm gonna get something with a little more leverage and whatnot, but what I'm gonna put up there is something like this guy right here, which is a real thick wash with a large hole in the middle. We'll put probably 2 on this side and maybe 1 on that side and see how that comes out. And everything looks good, then we can put the bolts back in. All right, guys, I ended up putting one of these ones. See how it's kind of got a cup to it, so it makes the thickness a little taller. Put that on this side, and then I put one of these thinner ones over here on that side. You see how there's kind of a gap right now? And that's because this cab's pretty rigid, and this side is holding up the whole thing. There's actually more space in here. But if we cinch everything down, hopefully that'll lock the cab down. And if we come out here, this doesn't look too bad. I don't have that string on there. I can definitely tell this is lower, but my problem is doing exactly what I said it was gonna do. And again, it's up kind of high. But you see how that gap right there is larger than it is back there? I think this, by picking up the cab, it's tweaking this whole alignment up in the front like I was afraid was going to happen. So let's lower this down, put the bolts in, cinch it down, and see if we were able to get anywhere with this. All right, so looking down here, it's pretty close. I imagine when we cinch it down, it's going to take it down just a little bit more, but it's crazy how much this little adjustment can change. And then on this side, we are way high, but I think that's because the cab is so stiff that it's, you know, so we gotta cinch it down. All right, let's look at this thing. Yeah, guys, I'm still high on the cab. Now I could shim up the bed, and again, it just looks like this gap up here is skinnier than it is on the bottom. So I could shim up the bed a little more on this end of on this side of the bed to pick that up. Let's look at the other side. Alrighty, so this side's closer. It's still a little lower. I could almost take one of those washers out of the back to drop this down. But again, I'm still trying to look at this gap. You know, it just looks skinny up here and wide down there. This is better. Let's put the string on real quick. All right, there we go. Yeah, remember we were just below the string back here, but gosh, you know, this isn't working out like I wanted. This did come up a little bit, but we're starting to have this problem up here. And that's something I wanted to avoid. And I fear that if I shim this up anymore, I'm gonna make that problem worse. So this just goes to show you that when you're welding up that rear frame piece, gosh, I could have swore everything was level and it clearly wasn't. So this is something this is maybe as best as I'm gonna get, because the more I jack up the cab, the more that's gonna make that problem worse, and we're not gonna get where we wanna be. So guys, I think that's where I'm gonna end this. I'm causing other problems by trying to shim too much, and I think I'm just gonna leave it where I've got it. It's better than it was. It's not perfect, and it's something I'm just gonna have to deal with. It's not good news. I feel like it's a defeat, but I don't wanna pretend, you guys, that I was able to fix this 100%. I wanted to show you what I was gonna do and how it came out. And then, you know, when you know how you do that thing where, well, I gotta take this thing apart, but I don't want to remove that piece. I bet I could just make it work by moving this out of the way, or almost moving it, you know what I mean? And in the end, just taking the seat out to move that gas tank was just easier. So it would have just saved me time if I would have started with that instead of trying to move the seat forward and try to lift up the gas tank and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, just something for you guys on that. So if you have a bigger problem than what I have with that bed, the frame is off more than mine was, you might be able to shim it out with a couple of washers and be done with it. But this side was worse than that, than the passenger side, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to get any more than what I got out of it. So I think I should probably just cut my losses and know that it's better than it was, but it's not as good as I want it to be. So cool. All right, guys. Well, I just wanted to show you what I was doing to try to level that out and maybe help you guys if you wanted to do something similar on your truck, get you some info, and get you guys down the road. Cool. All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one.